Happy Saturday. Welcome to the weekly collective reading. So, big stuff happening this week. We've got a lunar eclipse in Virgo conjunct the South Node. So, full moons are already let go energy. They're already, something has popped. Go ahead and let it diminish. Something has come to a head. Let's talk acne. And in the sign of Virgo, it's about surrender. It's about, especially connected to the South Node, which is connected to old habits, things that gotta go, things we've outgrown. Criticizing yourself is not making you better. Shaming yourself is not making you better. Looking for all the flaws is not improving your performance. I know that might sound ridiculous, but it's true. Imagine what could happen if you let go of torturing yourself until you're good enough. Let me tell you about good enough. Let's talk about, I'm about to get really Plutonian, forgive me. Let's talk about celebrities who have gotten to the tippy top of fame, appreciation, critical and financial success, and then they opt out. There's never enough. There's no such thing as good enough. There's no such thing as rich enough. There's no, until you decide you're enough. That you don't have to do anything to improve yourself in order to be enough, to be worthy. So, what is the antidote for the South Node and for the full moon in Virgo? It's the upcoming solar eclipse in Pisces. Forgiveness, surrender, accepting that there is a larger purpose and that we can't see everything all the time. Virgo is always looking for the details. Virgo is always trying to create a plan. Pisces knows, God laughs when we make plans, as they say. And that there's a little bit of let go and flow with it. Okay. Let's get into the weekly forecast, keeping that in your back pocket. Letting go of your Virgoan traits, worry, trying to predict and plan and plot out everything before it happens, and moving more toward, am I down to be compassionate with myself, whatever bumps or flaws or mess ups I come against? Hey, welcome. Oh, I'm so happy to see you too. I remember you. Yay. Glad to be back. So, letting go of perfection, ironically, gets you closer to perfection, which is just being as you naturally are, unfettered by social, parental, religious, etc. expectations. Even maybe and especially your own internalized expectations that have come off of that. Okay, I said I would get into the weekly forecast. Let's do that. We are going to look at each day of the coming week to begin with. And once we've got a feel for what the week is bringing us, we're going to get into the elemental forecast. We will pull a spread for fire signs, earth signs, air signs, water signs, and see how you can best navigate what's showing up for you this week. Excuse me. Jeez. So Spirit, let's start with today. Let's get another card and see what is showing up for us today to add to last week's wisdom. Anything we need to know for the coming week, Spirit, events, emotions. What do you want to bring our awareness to? Excuse me, for our highest good. On Sunday, tomorrow, Spirit, how is the energy looking? What do we need to know? Those of us who have gathered to watch this video, Spirit, there is something, a through line that connects us all. Please show us what we need to know for our highest good, Spirit, for our joy, fulfillment, peace, understanding. Now, Wednesday. Next week, beautiful. Thursday. Friday. And I'll pick all of these up and show them to you. Beautiful card. And finally, next week, Saturday. Hey. Pretty gorgeous. And it's mostly an upward trajectory. So why did Spirit want to start off today's reading talking about the upcoming eclipse? That's on March 13th or 14th, depending on your location. Why did they want to talk about the full moon conjunct the South Node in Virgo? A lot of us are, excuse me, a little bit guilty of paying attention to what's not working more than what is. Very understandable, especially in the current climate, to be looking at what the fuck. People are just pouring out our cups one after another. What the fuck is happening? Very understandable, very reasonable. So is Virgo. Virgo's very reasonable. So just to say it's understandable, and it's not necessarily the most effective strategy to have the best week possible. This person has their head in their hands looking at their overturned empty cups. The cup's been empty. They've been standing there a while. Look at that barren ground. But right behind them, two upright, full cups, beautiful, fat, juicy grapes, waiting to be juiced. The juice of life, waiting to be enjoyed. Don't wait. And don't be so focused on what's not working that you lose sight of what is working, what is rich and beautiful. Again, very Virgo kind of energy with that. So it doesn't have to be perfect and everything doesn't have to be right for there to be joy that you can take from life, and take it on purpose, okay? Take it on purpose. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. Especially when there are forces who are working hard at taking away the goodness and the juiciness of life. It is an act of rebellion to grab it and squeeze it for everything that it's worth and enjoy it, okay? And to share it with the people that you love, which is also really important. So that's today's card. Here's Sunday. Beautiful energy. Notice the cups. Notice the two cups that she is mixing and matching. So maybe one way that you are catalyzed into shifting your emotional energy around this could be this reading. There could be other messengers and synchronicities that come in that help remind you to stop and smell the roses, stop and pick the grapes. Take it easy, be gentle on yourself. Who I'm hearing, and again, it's a real interesting time to start doing readings for the collective. And I'm hearing with how much stress and amped upness there is, it's more important than ever for us to attend to our emotional equilibrium, to take it easy on ourselves and others. I'm hearing something else around the eclipse in this card, which is for some of us, maybe we don't turn that Virgoan criticism on ourselves. Maybe we turn it on the people and things and places around us. And that is just a reflection of the fact that we are doing it to ourselves low-key. So be kind to yourself. Be kind to other people. Give them room to not be perfect. Give them compassion, and I guarantee you they will grow faster and further than if you give them criticism. Okay? Temperance says, take it easy. Do moderation. No all-nighters, and if you got to do an all-nighter, then you got to take an all-day nap. That's just how it is. The energy will always come back, okay? You know, temperance is also about karma and balance. So be conscious of the energy that you give, knowing that it does affect the energy that you receive. Beautiful card, though, for take it easy, chill, try to carve out some time on your Sunday for ease. Monday. Love to see it. Nine of Pentacles. Self-sufficient, potentially self-employed or side hustling, or perhaps just looking around at what you've been able to build, grow, gather for yourself, and really appreciating yourself. I hear for some of you, you might be getting some praise on Monday. Like, wow, we see, because the world can see what you've been able to do with your pentacles and how you've been able to multiply them. The experience that you're standing on, some of you might get like a raise or a bonus or like a sum of money to kind of like, the Spirit is using the word codify. So for some of you, maybe it's like, oh, I'm getting a promotion and this is the day that I'm signing the thing that means that I get this. That's just what I'm hearing. Money coming in, self-appreciation coming in. Really love to see that after the Five of Cups and then Temperance. So getting my emotional equilibrium back reminds me of how good actually I am, how much I am capable of. That's like turning and looking at the full cups. So yes, this isn't working, or I wish this was different, but I am rooted in myself. I'm rooted in my values. I do things that I believe in. I say what I mean, and that gives me a sense of value. That gives me a sense of groundedness and abundance. That's what I'm hearing. So more self-appreciation working up to that, excuse me, to that eclipse. Tuesday, Nine of Wands, 2 nines in a row. Nines are on the verge of completion. So some of you, we're on our way to that full moon. That's completion. Nine of Wands, something you've been working on for a very long time. Long project, long range. Like, I mean a long time. I don't mean a few weeks. I mean months. I mean years. And a sense of like, are we there yet? And you are closer than you think. But I do feel like something is about to fall off. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. There's a strong theme of self-belief this week. Growing in your self-belief, growing in your self-compassion. This is exactly what Spirit is talking about when, you know, we all have a lion inside of us. We all have parts of ourselves that we wish were different, that we relentlessly criticize. God, I wish I wasn't so needy. I wish I wasn't so insecure. I wish I didn't have this anger problem. I wish I didn't get so depressed. I wish I didn't fill in the blank with your own. Everybody's got one. Everybody has a beast inside that if it were to come roaring out in public, they would be like horrified or humiliated or embarrassed. You need to love on this part of yourself more than any other part, more than your like, you know, goodness and all of that stuff. If any of you are teachers, Spirit is sharing something that is often said to people who work with children, which is like the worst kid in class is the almost undoubtedly the one who needs your love the most, who needs your attention the most. They're probably receiving it the least, so they're acting out. That's like your inner lion. You can maybe get a little, let's talk about Virgo things, because Spirit is like, Virgo is kind of the theme of the reading. We can get a little passive aggressive, maybe. If we're not in good contact with our lion, if we're not in tandem with our lion, then we might just accidentally swipe at somebody and we weren't even expecting to do that. But oops, we just undercut that person because what we've really been wanting to say is, you haven't been keeping up with this thing that you said you would do, or whatever. It's like there needs to be a conversation, a clear conversation about boundaries or needs or something. And if we don't do that, the lion will find a way to get its point across, whether to us or to them, and it won't be fun and pretty the way it could be if we get with that part of ourselves and be like, what do you need? What are you asking me for? I can feel depression or anxiety or fear like climbing up out of my chest and into my mouth, and I'm about to say some crazy shit, or I'm about to make a really bad decision, or I'm about to do something that isn't aligned with me just to avoid pain or conflict. And I don't want to do that. So what do you need? What do you need? We're scared. Okay, what do we need right now? Do we need to talk to somebody? Like, and be with yourself. Here's the irony. The lion inside of you is also the child inside of you, is also the shadow. They all just wear different masks, but they're all something small and needy that requires love and compassion and attention in order to mature into that big, glorious lion that will protect you when you need it. That neediness actually changes and morphs and matures into a rock solid sense of self and your own values. And it's like, yeah, I need things from other people, and there's nothing shameful about that. All of us do. No human is an island, right? So why was I shaming myself for that for so long? That's unfortunate. That's sad. I feel sad for me. Come in, little child, little inner child, little inner lion, whatever version is easiest for you to relate to. Little devil inside, little shadow. Sorry that I was ignoring you like I wanted everybody else to. Sorry I avoided you. That was really cruel. I understand why you're acting out right now. Okay? Getting real deep. You didn't come here for a shallow forecast, right? So, that's Thursday. Friday, something is falling off. Ten of Swords, you might actually, through all of this self-work, through all of this looking at what's not working and then choosing to look at what is working and put your love and your juice and your attention into that, and coming to this strong, rock-solid sense of self and what I'm capable of and what I do, and how actually I can do really fucking hard things. And every battle, every opposition that I've ever been through, I have collected and learned something. A skill, a tool, a weapon, a lesson. None of it was for nothing, but it can begin to feel like that if I don't look for it. Morning, morning. So Friday, through all of this work on yourself, through all of this. Actually, all of who I am is okay. All parts of me are acceptable. That doesn't mean that I want to bring out every part of me all the time. That doesn't mean I bring the lion to the dinner table all the fucking time. But it does mean it's okay for me to be insecure. It doesn't make me worthless. It's okay for me to want stuff that I don't have yet. That doesn't make me delusional. Whatever. Stop being mean to yourself. That's really the vibe, is stop being mean to yourself. And if you're hanging around other people who are being mean to you, or when you are a little bit, fill in the blank, not perfect, that they make you feel like there is something wrong with you, when like, no, certainly not. So you may come to a place where you decide, I'm done. I'm done having this conversation. I'm done even having this internal like monologue. I'm done dressing myself down, forcing myself to walk over fiery coals to prove that I can convert fucking oxygen into carbon dioxide to exist on this planet. Is there someone or something that you are like, I am right here. I am right on the verge of completely over it to the point that I don't care. And that's kind of what the Ten of Swords is like, you've so drained my emotions, water, the cups, right? That the ground is like dry and craggy. I have nothing left. I have nothing left. And let me bring your attention to two swords still have their points sticking up out of the ground. You could turn back and look at what hurt you, at what sucks, at what went wrong, and you can still prick yourself on those swords even if you decided to walk away. So, if you're really, really done, stick all of the points in the ground and be like, okay, I've learned every single thing that I could possibly have gotten from this. I've, I've juiced out anything worthwhile. And so I can really leave this now because that's it. I really got it. I really understand. And not a minute sooner, okay? So if you're forcing yourself to walk away, Spirit is saying the phrase like pillar of salt, like the story about the guy walking away and they told him, okay, you can leave the underworld and you can bring your wife with you. You've come into the underworld, you've rescued, let's say, a part of yourself. You've come back in and you've rescued a part of yourself and you both are going to get to walk out of the underworld free as long as you don't turn around. Don't look back. Go forward. Go forward. And of course, our protagonist looks back. His wife turns into a pillar of salt. Oops. Now it's completely over. You don't need to walk away until you're fully done. You don't need to walk away until you can comfortably not look back. I don't mean that you never think about it. I don't mean that it never pops up. I mean that you don't go over there and go, oh, is this the sword that hurt me? Ow, 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 oh, yeah, that's definitely the one. Ow, 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 ow. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? South Node, conjunct the full moon eclipse in Virgo. Focusing on what went wrong as a shield for, if I really get it, then nothing can ever hurt me again in the future. No, unfortunately, no. Life is nuts. Okay? But it's also beautiful. Saturday. Wonderful, wonderful card. Once you throw those old swords off of your back, once you drop those cruel voices out of your mind and stop going over the case, you're ready to go. You're ready to go. I think you had the Chariot last week too. So we as a collective, it's like a lot of us are picking up our stuff and going. And South Node in Virgo, North Node in Pisces, we need to understand both in order to be able to move forward. Yes, there are things about me that are not perfect, and I am down to accept them and improve them at each state that I am offered the chance to. So yes, I will come across conflict. Yes, I like to say with the Chariot, if we're going on a long road trip, we don't get our first flat tire or run into traffic or a detour and go, God didn't want me to go. God doesn't want me in San Francisco. Can't go. Got to turn around. That's it. That was the sign. We expect detours and traffic and blowouts and such, and we do not take them as signs that we're doing the wrong thing. We take them as opportunities to fix the damn tire, to cultivate a little patience as we sit in traffic, to take a scenic route if we have to take a detour. Okay? Please try to play the Pisces delusional game with yourself that life is not happening to me, it's happening for me. I call it a delusional game. It is what I believe in my heart. It sounds delusional to a lot of people. Who gives a shit? Does it work? It's happening for you, not to you. Your brave soul incarnated at this fuck-ass time for a reason. And so some of the things you come across really hurt and really rub you wrong. And for some of you, it's because you're being coached to move in a different direction. And for some of you, it's to learn that, oh, I'm stronger than this. I can totally withstand this. I never thought that I could take this, but I can. Hey, hey, Maria, welcome, welcome. And our final card for the upcoming week, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This might even, I can't math, so don't make me. This might even fall on the day of the eclipse. This is very beautiful energy. This is quite Piscean energy. It's transcendence, it's forgiveness, it's I don't have to understand or see everything in order to move in the right direction. And the right direction just means what feels good. And when I say good, I don't mean good. Sometimes those things line up. It's nice when they do. It's nice when like feeling like you're being good, a good person, moral person, etc. Yes, but also that feels juicy. That looks fun. That looks exciting. A part of me craves that experience. Whatever it is, whether it's good or whether it's good, it's for you. If your soul is calling you toward it, now listen, it might get you into a whole bunch of trouble. I've been there myself. Like, damn, I cannot resist this. Well, it was irresistible. And then there was a fabulous, fantastic, mixed up lesson in that shit. Okay? It didn't all feel great. Some of it felt amazing. And some of it felt like hell. And all of it made me closer to who I actually am and am meant to be on this planet. It's happening for me, not to me. That gives me the best opportunity to take advantage of it. The grapes we were talking about earlier in the reading. So, stripping yourself, she is nude. She doesn't need armor. She doesn't need to be in fashion. She doesn't need to project to anybody a certain image. It's like, this is me. So every bump, wart, scar, cellulite, whatever you might see, this is me. I love all of it. I've accepted all of it. There are days when I like it less and days that I like it more, but there are no days where I hate it anymore because I've decided that's fucking stupid. Okay. There's your weekly forecast. A lot of what is self-love is there self-improvement without self-denigration, because you can do that. Don't have to hate yourself or wish yourself different in order to mature yourself. It's actually the fucking opposite. Compassion, forgiveness, talking to like a little child who spilled something. You're not like you're a fucking idiot and a bad person. Why would you spill that? You spilled it everywhere. You spilled it on my favorite shirt. You fucking blah, blah, blah. You'd be like, that is completely fucked up. You are as innocent as a child. You don't know everything. You came here to learn shit, so learning shit involves bumping into walls, making mistakes, looking stupid in front of people, and all of it is okay. All of it's okay. And all of it happens to all of us, and there's nothing weird or wrong with you. Okay. Spoken as the weirdest fucking person on the internet, so I don't know what that's worth, but it's the truth. Okay. Why don't we get into the elemental spreads? The forecast for each of the signs by element. So, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We'll start with fire signs. I'm going to pull a card to see the theme, the kind of dominating element of your week. And then we will, as always, pull cards to look at money, work, resources, your headspace, your mental energy, where your thoughts are at, the emotional energy, how things are looking with relationships and feelings, and finally, your spirit, your energy, your fire, your soul, how things are looking with your inner molten lava. So first, spirit for the fire signs. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius in the coming week. Spirit, that was fast. Beautiful. And when it comes to money, I will pick up everything and show you in just a second. What about when it comes to resources, time, effort, money, physical health, spirit? What do the fire signs need to know for their highest good? A lot of y'all are, it's like passing tests. It's like working on getting to the edge of finishing a project. Very interesting. Okay. Mental space, spirit. for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And remember, you might have a sun in Cancer, but you have a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius rising, moon, several planets in it. Then this forecast will also resonate and apply for you. Headspace for the fire signs this week, Spirit. What do they need to know for their highest good? Wow. Okay. Now, the emotional space, Spirit, the heart, relationships, connections. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Gorgeous. And finally, in their own element, fire. What do the fire signs need to know about their energy? Okay, so theme of the week for fire signs, the Hierophant, moving up the ranks. Who's the boss? Who do you answer to? These are all the things that I'm hearing. And Spirit is speaking in practical terms, and they're also speaking in spiritual terms. So it's like, who is the boss? Who are you literally like working under? Or if you are the boss, who are your disciples and how are they doing? There's a little bit of like, how do you relate to the order and the structure? And some of you are moving well and moving up, and some of you are fucking sick of it. And this is just the nature of these readings, is they are general. So I'm kind of seeing like two dual paths for Leo people. For some of you, there is absolutely the potential to move up the ranks. Like we saw Nine of Pentacles, and I was talking about potential promotion or raise or just some form of recognition from higher up. That's what I'm hearing. So they're doubling down on that. When I look at money and work, this resonates nicely with the Nine of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. Joyful money making, joyful skill building. This is working on something we really care about. So this, for some of you, like I said, could be like a personal project. I'm writing a book. I'm making a web comic. I'm creating a garden in my backyard. Like something where you are using your hands to create, using the resources that you have, something that feels like a trade or a craft, something that you could eventually move from apprentice to master, okay? So there is like a student teacher, mentor, mentee. There's that kind of dynamic happening here, and I'm curious which you are. Are you the leader with the disciples, or are you the disciple who is creating? Either way, looks pretty promising to me. A lot of potential for growth and a lot of potential to get seen is something that I'm hearing. So if you are, like, for example, not trying to be seen, be careful what you're doing, because I feel like people are looking. So I'll just say that. And if you're looking to get seen, fire signs, it looks like throw your hat in the ring, go ahead and compete. So let us look at your mental space. Ten of Swords. We had the Ten of Swords in the weekly forecast on Friday, I believe it was. So where is the mental overload? Where do you need to even just potentially literally set down the phone? Stop scrolling. It's not helping. You can't think more or better out of this. And honestly, coming up for fire signs, Ten of Swords is like the air sucked out of the room. And your flame, your fire can't burn if there's no oxygen, if you are just completely depleted. So don't get into comment wars. Consider which battles. That's something that Spirit is saying very loudly. And actually, I'm just going to jump over to your fire forecast because this applies to that. Five of Wands is an unnecessary, hey, Jimmy, welcome, welcome. This shows potentially unnecessary, not the most mature, not the most productive kind of conflict. Five of Wands is, I like to talk about, when I see the Five of Wands, I always think of a wand measuring contest. We're all out here measuring our wands next to each other. My wand's bigger, my wand's brighter, my wand that is probably a waste of time. Maybe you should just go to your table and work with your wand. Work on your idea and put it out into the world. You don't need to talk about it. I kind of feel that with the Ten of Swords. Probably don't run around and tell everybody about it. Now Spirit is bringing another vision to my mind, which is, do you know, I wonder which sign this popped up for last month. If it was any of you, pay special attention. They tell boxers, right? Let me get around YouTube real quick. They tell boxers not to have intimate relations before the big match because when you, let us say, explode before you are supposed to explode, you don't have as much fuel. You don't have as much oomph for the fiery match, right? So it's hold it to yourself. Don't talk about your idea to everybody because that's a version of exploding before you explode. Keep it quiet. Work on your own thing. In fact, talking about it and thinking about it and might be part of like what's exhausting. So when all else fails, get back to the table, and this could be a hobby. This doesn't have to ultimately be something where it's like, oh, this is necessarily going to make me a bunch of money. But learning how to build basic tables and chairs is definitely going to save me money, up my skills, make me a more valuable member of society, Eight of Pentacles, just by learning this. So just to say, it doesn't have to be money, doesn't have to be a side hustle. It can be just, I really want to get skilled at playing the fucking piano. Like, that's a building skill that is mechanical, okay? Okay. Don't be afraid to let things go that feel like a waste of time and mental energy because your final card, Ace of Cups, a beautiful blessing is flowing into your life. This is emotional. This is like forgiveness. This could be for yourself. This could be for or from someone else. This is like a dam breaking down. And when a dam breaks and the water flows in, the whole landscape changes. And though it may be overwhelming, because the Ace of Cups can be overwhelming, it may hit you out of nowhere. I was not expecting to get this email from an ex or an old friend, you know, apologizing or opening the door or giving me closure or whatever. This is just something that I'm hearing, okay? I wasn't expecting this. This shifts the landscape. It's a little overwhelming, but also it so nourishes the landscape. Land needs water, especially when it has been sucked dry. So someone or something may disappoint you, but it looks like, as the universe does, if this gate closes, well, this fucking dam breaks open. As you've decided to stop hating yourself or criticizing yourself to make yourself better, here comes a rush of love from an unexpected place to mirror the new inner self-love that you have kind of begun to practice. Okay? Okay. How's that hit you, fire signs? I hope that it is helpful. Let me know if you feel like it. Hey, I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That is so good to hear. So, why don't we move from Wands? Hola, Fernando. Happy to see you. Why don't we move from Wands to Swords? Let's go to the air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And we're going to see what's the forecast for y'all this week. Okay. Energy of the week, Spirit. Overall theme. What do you want to bring the air signs' attention to, Spirit, for their highest good? What is showing up for them this week that it serves their fulfillment, peace, ease, joy, living in their truth? What does it serve them to be aware of this week? Hey. Okay. How about money, resources, work, jobs, and projects? How's it looking for the air signs, Spirit? What do you want to bring their attention to for their highest good? Love it. Okay. How about their mental space? Their own element, their own realm, Spirit. What do they need to know? Okay. And what about love, feelings, relationships, connections, Spirit? The inner world. What do the air signs need to know when it comes to their emotions? And finally, when it comes to their fire, their spirit, their passion. What do you want air sign people to know this week, Spirit, for their highest good? Please, the truth for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius is highest good. Interesting. You are moving up. You are moving on, and you are moving at your own damn pace down your own damn path. So, the Hermit, your theme for the week. We had a couple of nines show up in the weekly forecast. The Hermit is the original number 9, the granddaddy of the nines. This person is shutting their laptop. They're done looking at what everybody else is thinking and saying, and they are recalling that they have a light inside. This is her lantern that she will follow wherever she needs to go, and it really doesn't matter if other people necessarily understand. And the thing that Spirit is saying to me, which is very encouraging, is don't worry, the right people, the people that you need, do understand, will understand, and you won't have to couch it. So if you're thinking about how to couch it, maybe don't. Maybe be as weird and singular as you want to, air sign things. That is going to serve you better. Finding and moving by our own internal compass begins in this age to feel like a little bit of a lost art. That's why I really love this version of the card where she's shutting the laptop. Yeah, I could, do the air sign thing and get a lot more research, get a lot more facts, get a lot more information. Surely this will help me move better, do better. I'm going to jump right there. Not necessarily. 9 of Swords, you're actually not doing your best work in your head this week, air signs. You might be feeling some anxiety. You might have a lot of, like a long, crazy to-do list. You might have a lot of anxieties. You might have, I'm hearing for some of you, this is interesting. I'm hearing for some of you, it's like the anxiety is like, oh, I have like an interview coming up, like I have a big speech or I have a big project or something that I'm delivering. And for those of you that have something like that coming up, I want to encourage you to get out of your head and into your body. 9 of Swords is I'm completely in my head. I've lost all contact with what's actually happening. This is the nightmare card, right? This is why we have this person sitting up in bed in the middle of the night and all these fucking foreboding ass swords just hanging in the background right over their head, right? No escape, head in the hands. When you're too much in your head, the remedy is to get grounded. It's to go for a walk. It's to go take a bath. And, really like, okay, I'm gonna get out the good, bubbles or the nice bath wash that smells really nice, feels really nice. And I am just going to, my mind is gonna try to run away. That's what it does, okay? I'm not even gonna tell you to try to meditate because the 9 of Swords like, ask you to sit down and close your eyes. No, let's not. But you can, like I said, take the walk in the park and look at the nature, touch the trees, sit on the ground. You can take the shower and really feel the body wash, really feel your skin, really smell and really, feel the steam and etc. And every time your mind wants to go think about this thing, go figure out this problem, go make sense of this terrible thing happening in the world, you won't. You can't. There's no sense, right? So best to bring yourself back into your senses. That's what Spirit is saying. There's no sense in this, so you want to bring yourself back into your senses. And I guarantee you that the mind will follow the body. If you give the body all the cues that it needs to know that it's safe, ultimately, eventually the mind will follow. So something like box breathing, something like in for 4, out for 8, purposely extending that exhale until your body is like, oh, okay, we're not running from a bear. Oh, okay, we're right here. We are actually safe, or I wouldn't be able to breathe like this, okay? So sometimes we think we need to fix the problem in our mind, when really if we would let the mind have a rest and let the body lead for a while, that would serve us better, okay? Okay. You're also going to be able to hear your intuition and follow your inner compass a lot better if you don't have all of these competing thoughts and voices and et cetera just dragging you down a bunch of different deep, dark hallways that ultimately are mostly illusory anyway. Most of that stuff will never happen, right? But we can really paralyze ourselves with the fear that it will. So, when it comes to money, resources, your time, 3 of Pentacles, you are meant to follow your own path and go your own way. And as Spirit said, the people who get it or who will help you or who are meant to come across you as allies along your journey, They will be there, so don't be afraid to take those first steps. I just feel like I have to just bring up your other two cards. Let's remember that you had the Hermit, someone who's already walking their own path, and then you have two other cards all about taking the road less traveled, going away you've never gone before, seeing shores and places that you've never seen before. So, you will meet allies along your way. Three of Pentacles talks about teamwork. So if you have something that you've been wanting to create or that you are in the process of creating, it might be a good time to be like, maybe I'm way in my head. I've written this book or I've created this course or I've whatever, and I've been over it so many times. Have you ever have this problem where it's like, I wrote this, but I spent so much time on it that now I don't even know if the words make sense. Like, I've read it so many times that it's all gobbledygook to me. So I need to send this over to like a trusted friend so they can look it over and tell me if they're noticing anything that seems weird or whatever. This is what Spirit is saying with that Three of Pentacles. So in the same way that they're like, get out of your head, get into your body, get out of your internal monologue and turn that shit into a dialogue with someone that you trust, someone who is wise, someone who is grounded, someone who understands you and will be patient with you. That's what I'm hearing as I look at this teacher standing over the shoulder of the person sketching. So you have helpers and friends, tap into them. And also, even for those of you who are a straight up hermit and you are doing this all by yourself, the Three of Pentacles would imply that getting an expert opinion, an outside opinion, could really benefit you. So maybe you just want to ask somebody to take a glance once you are ready for that. And then no sooner, okay? You take your time. Emotionally, Eight of Cups, leaving something behind, something stagnant, believing and really fucking like being brave enough to say, I don't know what else is out there, but it has to be better than this. That's basically the Eight of Cups. I've poured a lot of time and love and effort and energy into one way of being, and ultimately I've arrived at a place where it's no longer helping me grow. The most melancholy part of this card is like this actually did at one time make me feel like I was growing, or make me feel like I was fulfilled, or it felt like it was really alive and for me. But the Eight of Cups is like, now it's dead. It's like it's dead or it's deadening, like it's on its way. So it's like the juice is not worth the squeeze. The hangout is not worth the hangover. That's something that Spirit is saying. So maybe some of you could have like a friends with benefits or like situationship kind of thing where it's like, this is no longer satisfying me. And yes, there's no guarantee that the love of my life is out there, but it's a guarantee that this ain't it. So whatever's out there, at least the possibility lies out there for this thing that is better for me. So I talked about relationships. This could also apply to habits like substance abuse. Hey, hey, welcome, welcome. Happy to see you. Familiar face. Trust yourself. Believe that you have what it takes to get to new places. Three of Wands is new adventure. It's your, oh my goodness, woman, healing energy, healing energy, healing energy, calm, ease, sending you all the love, sending you all the healing energy. But air signs, believe in yourself. Take the road less traveled. And you, again, like they said in the weekly forecast, it's not that you have to, and this is real important for air signs, you don't have to have every piece of data and information and every plan B through Z before you strike out on your path. It's more about, can I trust both myself, and you can, and my allies, which includes the universe, your loved ones, your ancestors, even if you don't feel like you have earthly ones. I can trust myself and my allies that whatever I come across, I will be able to handle it. I don't have to know everything before I can start, or before I can go, or if I can go bigger. I can go and I can be brave. And what I can take with me is faith. Because, you know, I talked about the Hermit is the granddaddy of the nines. All of the eights are related to the Star and the Strength card, and those are cards about faith. Those are cards about believing more and better is possible for us when we're really with ourselves. So, stay with yourself. Be true to yourself. Your thoughts are not the truth. Your thoughts are colored by your mood. Take a nap. Have a sandwich. Drink some water. Think about it again. Okay. I hope that that is helpful for my air signs. Let us move on to water. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And remember, you might have a sun in fire or air or earth, but if you've got a moon in a water sign or more than a couple planets in a water sign or an ascendant that is a water sign, this is going to have information for you. All right, Spirit. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. What is the theme of this week? Spirit, what do you want to bring their attention to for their highest good? Being aware of this leads them to their highest good. Beautiful. Let's talk about money, resources, effort, projects, jobs, Spirit. What is showing up in the Pentacle realm for the water signs? Love that. Wow, interesting, interesting. I'll pick these up and show them to you in just a second. How about the mental realm? The head space, Spirit, what kinds of thoughts? Wow, a lot of that going around this week. Okay, lunar eclipse, full moon conjunct South Node in Virgo. A lot of letting go, a lot of adjustments that we are making this week. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. All right, Spirit, what about emotions, connections, feelings? For Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, water sign and water dominant people, Spirit, what do they need to know? Lovely. And finally, their fire, their spirit, their passion, their creativity, their anger and sacred rage. Spirit, what do you need water sign people to know about their energy? How it is spending, what the flavor is. Beautiful. Wow. Mostly such a beautiful reading, water signs. So, if you watched the weekly forecast at the beginning of this video, we had Temperance showing up as, I believe that was Sunday. So, ease, gentleness, going back and forth. Oh, sending you so, so much love. I'm glad you're here too. Speaking of Temperance. So, mix it up. Be gentle. Go back and forth. You don't need to figure out everything at once. Love to see when we are talking to water signs that she is trading the water between these sacred cups. 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. What do we say? Balance. That if we are too much in our head, that being on the earth and in our body can be really helpful. And the same is true when we're really emotionally, high or really emotionally low. Trying to change the way we feel is not the fucking move. There's no trying to make the ocean do its waves differently. The ocean does what the ocean does. And the ocean does what the ocean does according to the atmosphere, right? And everything. So there's a whole ass ecosystem at play here. So trying to be like, stop feeling bad or start feeling like this instead is a fool's errand. And I love a fool, but this is not the one. So ease, gentleness, moderation, let's say, as opposed to I'm never drinking coffee again. Okay, you've been a caffeine addict for, 15, 20 years, but you're never going to drink coffee again now and that's it? You're done? Easy? Is it? Or is that a trick set up to make you feel like, see, I never can do anything. 3 days, a day later, an hour later, I'm drinking the 2 pots of coffee that have been my, customary habit for the last 20 years. You are only harming yourself if you try to go by extremes and binaries and etc. This is a week to be in flow. And just a reminder, because I'm going to say it a million times over the course of this reading, we've got the eclipse, the lunar eclipse, conjunct the South Node in Virgo this week. There is an art to letting go. There's an art to being gentle with yourself. There's an art to, Spirit is saying, sometimes when we let something go, it can feel really fearful because there's a fear that there is not more where that came from. And Spirit is wanting me to tell you this week, there's more where that came from. So if you think that letting go of this person or this opportunity or this whatever that doesn't exactly line up, don't worry. There's actually more where that came from and there's better where that came from. Now Spirit is showing me something real funny, which is where my geriatric millennials and Xers at. Spirit is showing me one of the Indiana Jones movies. I think, yeah, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. For any of you who want to look up the scene and laugh, there's a scene, I don't want to spoil too much for you, but they're on the hunt for the Holy Grail, right? It's the whole point of the movie. We're on the hunt for the Holy Grail. Eventually, we end up in this big-ass room, and there's shelves and shelves of grails. There's jewel encrusted, there's silver, there's gold, there's copper, there's brass, there's wood, there's glass, there's all manner of Holy Grails. And this is also apropos to this time. There are, Indiana Jones is always fighting the Nazis in these movies. And there's a Nazi dude who is also trying to get the Grail for his own purposes. And this dumb motherfucker sees the most, ostentatious, jewel encrusted Grail on the shelf and reaches for that shit. And what happens? His skull melts. It's wonderful. It's amazing. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I'm probably going to watch it after this just to make my heart get warm and fluttery. You are not going to melt your face off if you choose the wrong Grail. It's not what I'm saying to you, but it might look different than you're expecting. Fernando knows what I'm talking about. Go easy. Be gentle on yourself. Speaking of, looking at money, looking at resources, do we see a pattern? Do we see a pattern? As she trades the water from cup to cup, it can never grow stagnant. It will always be fresh, magically pure. And as we use the resources, yes, this is the influence I want to be on the internet. Yes, me too, actually, because it's been a long time. As she trades these pentacles back and forth, moving gently, her money, her resources, her skills. Oh, okay, that one didn't work so well. Let me try this. Okay, let me try that. Gentle, gentle. Yup, yup. We need to all watch Nazi's face melt and just be like, oh yeah, we're going to be seeing more of this. One day I'm just going to see this happen live on camera and it's going to be so cool and amazing. Like, wow, that motherfucker's head just went on fire. That's crazy. I'm looking forward to it. I'm picturing it. I'm joyful. Okay. So what you have can remain fresh, infinite, gorgeous, rich. Play with it gently. No extremes. That's really the fucking overwhelming message here. Don't go to extremes. Water signs, you do not do your best work in your head. And water signs, we are permeable. We are sensitive. We're water. There is something to our fundamental personality that is related to the element that we have predominantly in our chart. And as water people, it's easy for us to mesh together. Word, Maria. It's easy for things to touch us and get inside, right? And muddy our waters. And Ten of Swords is think. Scroll. Comment, read. Unplug. That's just straight up what Spirit is saying is like unplug. What might it look like for you to put yourself, I don't want to say like a media diet, that's not really the word that I want to use, but like, what if I decided that this week I want to be a little bit more intentional and balanced in the way that I consume media, information, and even the people with whom like I converse. If there are people around me who are draining me, who are cruel, who are thoughtless, then perhaps I could take a week to disconnect from those people also and just suddenly be unavailable and let them handle their own shit for a little while. That's something else that I'm hearing, okay? So for those of you for whom that resonates, unplug, be intentional, give yourself, okay, I'm not gonna be posting or doing anything on social media, so I'm gonna set a little 10-minute timer and I'll let myself scroll, and then when the timer goes off, I'm getting away from that. Unplug. Be intentional. Moderation. Again, you don't have to say, no more media for me, I'm never getting on the internet again. That's not temperate. That's not moderate. But to say, you know what? Looking at social media after 9 p.m. is really not doing anything for my life. So maybe that's where I put my little cap. And I just set my phone to, this is something I do, I automatically set my phone to go to airplane mode at like 9 p.m. 9 p.m. till like 10 a.m. the next day. Like, I'm not available. I'm not listening. I'm not tuned in. I am with myself. So Just something to consider, okay? Okay. Emotionally beautiful. I'm hearing reunion really loud and clear. So for some of you, it's like you're going to be hanging out with or hearing from, or you may be the one reaching out to old friend, sibling, somebody that you feel like you can really be yourself around, and that brings out the kid in you, that brings out like the joyful, playful, sweet heart in you. Six of Cups can also speak of romance, soulmates. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Maria. Check out Maria's comment. Apparently there are apps. I'm technically like way slow. So yes, everybody listen to Maria. Maria knows what you're talking about. Thank you. This could be romantic. There is the potential because the Six of Cups is like a soulmate card. Now, here's my obligatory reminder. Not all soulmates are romantic. Not all soulmates are meant to last forever. Sometimes our sibling is a soulmate. You know what I mean? Somebody that like we really just click with and get, and we're in this thing together our whole life. And something Spirit is saying about how you'll know this person is there's the time and distance just collapses as soon as we're together again or talking again. There's no, oh, this is kind of awkward. Oh, I don't even know you anymore. No, we've always known each other. We will always know each other. It's that kind of vibe. So who feels like that to you? They may reach out to you, and if you are like, I feel it inside that I need to reach out to that person, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and extend that offer and have that sweet, lovely moment. Speaking of sweet, lovely moments and soulmates, and the potential that, yes, for some of you, that Six of Cups could be playing with your romantic person. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like, yeah, there's soul siblings, there's soul friends, there's soul pets, got all kinds of soulmates, okay? Let's not be so boxed in. But Four of Wands, again, could potentially point to romantic partners, husband, wife, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, etc., the person that we've committed to. Because in the old days, they called this the marriage card. I'd call it the commitment card. Building a home together, potentially like roommate or domestic partnership, but it's like we have created a happy home, a happy found or chosen family, a happy community. Hey, no such thing. No such thing as late. So, who do you love? Who do you love, water signs? Get around those people. Create some time. There's something that I've been wanting to do, and I'm just going to share this with you because maybe this applies to some of you all also, if you have the access and the ability. I live in a teeny tiny little one-bedroom apartment because I am but a humble witch, okay? And I have been thinking about how I can create space and make the room to like have little dinner parties where I just invite people that I think are good people. Smart, cool, creative, compassionate, interesting, curious, like, hey, there's one of them now. And just be able to get people like that together in like an organic environment that has nothing to do with being online or being filmed or being recorded, and just see what kind of beauty or ideas or adventures and misadventures we can come up with together. So maybe some of you have a little more dough. Maybe you live in a house or a cottage. Ah, isn't that crazy? Oh, I can't even believe I've been here this long. If any of you have the space to host, to create, you know, a dinner party, to create a little old-fashioned salon where people are exchanging ideas and thoughts and maybe coming up with ways to help each other, community building, mutual aid, all that kind of thing, this could be what this is related to. Is like there's a community out there for you to connect with, and trying to connect on the internet might be not as effective at this moment. Let's just say it like that. Not as effective in this moment, in person, and even like Zoom. Because yes, sometimes our friends, our closest friends and soulmates live across the ocean. So maybe you could just set up a monthly dinner party where we all just bring our food and we chit chat, whatever. Just a thought. Community gathering and building is something I see here for you, water signs. Something that will work well for you and help bring you back into your heart rather and out of your head. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reading. Love to see temperance when we're talking to the water signs, because like somebody who knows how to use them cups. Okay. So now finally, let's talk to the earth signs. Ooh, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Spirit, we want to know, what is the theme? What is the predominant energy, archetype, event this week? What do you want to make earth signs aware of for their highest good? Hey, big earth sign energy. Okay. When it comes to money, resources, projects, jobs, income, spirit, what do you want to share with earth sign and earth sign dominant people? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, spirit, what unites them? Yes. Okay. What about the mental realm for the earth signs? For the earth signs, spirit, how is their air realm? Okay. And how about their complementary, their water, love, relationships, connections, feelings, spirit? How are the earth signs' hearts faring this week? Okay. And finally, what about their energy, their fire, their passion? Spirit, what is heating up the earth signs this week? What do we want to bring their attention to for their highest good? Wow. There's a lot more out there for you than you might be aware of, earth signs. The first thing that Spirit is saying, okay, let's just go here. So, your theme for the week, the Hierophant, and the word that Spirit is saying so loud and clear is tradition. Tradition and traditional when I look at this. And that, makes sense and applies for the earth signs who do tend to be a little bit more, I'm not trying to do it some new crazy way. I'm trying to see the way that it's been done and continue to do that, or, even improve upon that. But I'm not trying to come up with a whole new thing. That's like air sign shit, right? So earth signs, you know a lot and you have a lot to give, a lot to teach, a lot to share. I feel that you'll be doing that. Three of Pentacles, which one are you? That's what Spirit is truly saying to me and asking me to ask you right now. It's like, are you the one who is learning how to create, who gets expert help and opinions? Or are you, the model? Are you the one that others are creating off of? Like the teacher, the student, the Spirit is like the muse. That's what they're asking me to say. So it's like, are you the teacher, the student, or the muse? Pick your option. Lean into it and know that if you work with those other versions, so it's like if you are the muse, then perhaps you need to find the teacher or the student or the mentor or whatever to complete your little triad. There could be something that you could put together better with other people than you can all by yourself. So I'm seeing a couple different things with this. Spirit is showing me 3 people in a room podcasting. So that's just one example where it's like, oh, well, the 3 of us all have different perspectives, opinions, expertise, and when we get together, we create something new. We manifest something entirely new together that we could never again do each on our own. So is there some kind of group project that you're working on? Are you potentially the lead in that project because of the Hierophant showing up? The one who is dictating, that's something that Spirit is saying. There's a lot of growth potential this week. It involves understanding. Spirit is saying something really interesting. It involves knowing your limitations, but not so that they can limit you, so that they can set you free. Let's talk about it. That's just what Spirit is saying. So, headspace, heart space. Do we see some similarities here? Do we see something in the Venn diagram? Leaving things behind, taking what we can hold in our hands and leaving behind what we have come to understand, like that's no longer for me. It doesn't fit in my hands. It doesn't fit in my heart. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm done. Some of you have the potential, again, let's mention that it is a lunar eclipse, a full moon conjunct the South Node in Virgo. South Node is old habits, old ways of doing things, things that we've outgrown, outmoded, and old karma, old patterns, stuff that it does not serve us to be attached to anymore. Oh, that's wonderful. I love to hear that. That's great. You don't have to carry everything. I feel like that's part of, why Spirit is showing me the Hierophant, and then that Three of Pentacles is like, yeah, you might be the leader or the teacher or the person who started it, and you don't have to do it all by yourself. And if you feel any guilt or regret that you haven't been able to do something all by yourself, or even like not yet or whatever, I'm going to need you to stop guilting yourself. Yay. I love that. Need to let go of guilt, need to refuse to carry burdens that aren't yours to carry. Spirit is asking, what can you learn from your past? Because the more that you look at things that have hurt you, or places that are, like, let's say somebody said something really hurtful a really long time ago. You may not see that person anymore, talk to that person anymore. That person might be dead. But those words still stick in your craw, or in your mind, or in your heart. If that is so, whether this person is, or these words are from the deep past or the recent past, it is time to visit the site of the battle, to pick up whatever is yours and you want to take with you, and move along finally, rather than kind of be moving away from that, but also I'm looking over my shoulder, also I'm still wondering if I should have done something else, also I'm wondering if they're still behind me. Like, when we look back, we only want to look back so that we can finish with it and go forward. So there might be lessons that you are finally starting to integrate from the deep, deep past this week that allow you also to emotionally move forward. And this is real specific, okay? This is not going to be for necessarily every earth sign, but Spirit is like they said about somebody from the deep, deep past, and this person might even be dead, but it still hurts. There is the ability to use this eclipse conjunct the South Node to say, I am maybe even going to ritualize letting this go. I'm going to share a practice that I do when I am banishing something from my life. That could be a person, that could be a habit, that could be a substance, that could be whatever. I write a letter as part of all of the stuff that I do. And in this letter, I start with a heartfelt thank you. Thank you, substance, for letting me dissociate in difficult times, for helping me regulate my emotions when I didn't have or know a better way of doing it, for being the only damn tool that I had in my tool belt for a really long time. Thanks for yada, yada, yada. Or person, thank you for really teaching me what it is to go insane with passion and make really bad decisions. Like, I never thought that was possibility for me, but you humbled me. And now I know this about myself, and yada, yada, yada. So thank you, right? First section, true, real, heartfelt thank you to whatever this fuck-ass shit is, right? Find a way to remember what it was in the first place that was actually like, oh, this was at the time, it was fulfilling or exciting or helped me grow, whatever. So thank you. And then, and this is why I need to say goodbye. You also made me feel like shit about myself, or you made me forget about my commitments to friends, or you made blah, 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 blah. These are all the ways that this screwed me over, or screwed me out of being myself, or made me afraid to try, or whatever. I need to leave you behind because this. And then, thank you for our time together. Thank you for the lessons. I wish you nothing but yourself. And I release you. And then we're done. So you may have a couple of letters to write that will help you fully let go of something that maybe it's been a long time, but there was a reason you hadn't let it go, and it's that there was a nugget in there for you. Okay? So Spirit is being really funny. They're like, so maybe you had a big bag of fucking rocks that you've been carrying around in your belt, like, for a long time, and everybody looking at you like, why are you carrying all that shit? That's really kind of strange. It's throwing off your gait. It's slowing you down. It's making you cranky. But you knew somewhere deep inside, unconsciously, that there's a little nugget of gold somewhere in that bag of rocks. I'm just not ready to get my hands dirty and go through all that. I can't let it go, but I'm not ready to go through it. Oh, very much the labyrinth bag lady. This woman knows what she's talking about. Very much that. I don't need this anymore. Thank you for what you gave me. Thank you for the lessons, some of them painful, but certainly soul changing and enlightening, even if it took me through the dark to get to that enlightened place. And what's on the other side of that? Freedom, joy, excitement. Yes, can you hear them? Are you hearing the little parakeets cheeping outside? There is a whole world out here. A whole world out here. What do these 8s have in common? Brave new world. Lots of space, lots of possibilities. And the 8 of Wands is there's more opportunities, activities, attractions, availability than you even know. And that's perfectly normal because you've been walking around with a big bag of rocks that's been fucking up your gate and having you looking backwards when you could be looking forwards. So there's a lot out there to look forward to, is what Spirit is saying, water signs. So will you clear your own air? Will you make an effort to unmuddy your own waters, to let them become still enough that you can look down and see what is in there? Damn, didn't even know there's a big ass anglerfish just waiting. My insecurity just waiting to snap at me. Well, I'll throw a line in. I love myself unconditionally. Gotcha, bitch! That's what Spirit is saying. Okay, well, that was your weekly forecast, everybody. I hope that that is extremely, extremely helpful. Yo, yo, aren't they all? Aren't they all? And may all their faces melt. I have enjoyed hanging out with y'all so much. I truly thank you so much, those of you who've been here live, been commenting. It's like so great to see you, so wonderful to be back. I really hope that this is helpful and helps you have a better week. Hey, I'm looking right back. I can't see her, but I know I adore her. Sending y'all all the love. I hope that you have a really beautiful week. I hope that this makes it easier, more fun, helps you take deeper breaths and exhale harder. Hey, it's back there. It's back there. It will be back there, so please go back and enjoy. Yay! So much love to y'all. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you next Saturday. Till then, bye. There's all in my hand. Oh my God.